Alright, I wanted to give you a new tour of my snake room. I have done quite a bit of moving. Currently, all that's in the baby rack are this year's 2011 babies. Yay, so exciting. Because I moved my 2010 holdbacks up here. So now we have 5 rows of little tubs. Also moved some of those snakes around. And built a new rack. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, check that out. It's even on casters. I built the rack for my dwarf boas, and right now my sunset's in there too. Basically, so I can cool them and keep them separate from my ball pythons during the breeding season. They're hooked up to their own thermostat. There's a helix. It's kind of falling over back there. So I can keep them separate. Also, big new addition. This little thing on the floor that I still haven't found a great place for is a herp 4. Oh yes. Right now, only one of their 4 probes are working because, like I said, I just set it up today. My big rack was on a helix. That helix went to this small rack and got the herpstat. Eventually, we'll also have the baby rack on the herpstat, as well as probably a room heater and an incubator, depending on all that. And eventually, well, messy over here. Nova, my little Amazon tree boa, she's gonna get a different cage, and she'll probably end up with a she's gonna get a thermostat one way or another. She's going to have a radiant heat panel versus her heat pad right now. So whether she gets her own helix or she gets put on the herpstat Pro doesn't really seem to matter. They're all proportional thermostats. I think they all work great. Yeah. So a little bit more on the new rack. The lovely black stuff is expanded PVC. That's a little close, I know. It's 1/4 inch, and then it's supported by 1x2s. And they go all the way back on both sides. Basically, that's what supports it. Put together along the side with 1x4s. And they go all the way down. I added the middle ones in after I built the rack just to give it some added support, because my base plans didn't quite work out as I had planned. My mathematics was slightly off. It is on casters. Basically, same thing along the back. There's 2 boards that go across the entire base that are drilled in, and the casters are into it. There are screws sticking out, but because nothing goes down there, it doesn't matter. I built 5 high because I have 3 dwarf boas. I'm intending on selling my sunset. Then I figure if I hold back some of the dwarf boa's babies, I can get a couple more in here. And that way I have room for my whole dwarf boa breeding project. They're Tarahumara dwarf boas. And they seem to be enjoying their new homes quite a bit. I'll show you. They are heated with Flex-Hot heat tape covered in aluminum foil tape. I wired it all by myself. Well, technically I didn't. Technically my boyfriend helped, but it's a parallel circuit and it works. Oh my goodness. I know, it's quite a concept. Girls can do things that actually work. The whole design for this rack was mine, based off of somebody I found on the web. He had a great one. I'll put the link in the comments.